So I wish I fully understood that they're kids. And I know that probably sounds silly, um, but I was coaching pro guys for a while. And, you get used to thinking on a certain level and you're not fully aware of where your kids are at, maybe developmentally. And I'm saying you, meaning me. I didn't think as in depth as I should have about the developmental stages of my kids' brains, of their social, psychological development, um, of what might be going through their heads. I had been a pro basketball coach for a while, and when I started having kids, and sometimes it's hard to shut off um, the coach like a pro mentality. So you have standards for your kids, and some weird form of pride. I might have felt like, no, my kids are going to be like this. They're going to be accountable. They're going to be responsible. They're going to do things the right way. And that's not that those are bad goals, but there's a lot to be said for managing your expectations and having sort of age appropriate expectations. And I think frequently somewhere, if I had been more aware of it, if I had been more cognizant of the fact that, hey, as a dad, my goals are probably right now for an 18 to 21-year-old and my kid's 6. And I need to be fair. And it wasn't like, I wasn't getting them in the weight room or something at a young age. It just my expectations were developmentally way too far down the line um, when I was starting out. And so I wish that I had been aware. And, honestly, just as I think this is a thing with parenting, but for me, I feel like I should have known better. Uh, my major's in human development and family studies. We used to say from the womb to the tomb. And so I thought about this stuff in college. I talked about it, but then I just, I got into playing pro basketball and then coaching and certain things. And I didn't really think too much about the developmental stages of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I was just kind of thinking from my perspective or from the perspective of the people that I was coaching. So that's really a big thing. And I think with that, understanding that those expectations shift, they grow, they change naturally as the kid does and the kid develops. And so in the beginning, I didn't do a very good job of that. And that's just true. You can't argue with me on that one. But I think I'm getting better, which is good news. As parents, we're human beings, so we can all improve, right? So that's one thing I wish I knew.